Legendary Yoda once said, "Do or do not. There is no try." And my interpretation of this is that if you're not doing anything, you're not trying. And if you are doing something, you're inherently trying. So by trying, you're doing. And I mean, obviously, it's open for interpretation. That was just kind of how I took it. And I thought that'd be an interesting way to start the video because what I want to talk about today is the importance of trying. Today, I feel like there are a ton of people who struggle with feeling unfulfilled or generally unhappy with their life. They don't understand their purpose. They feel like they could have achieved more, or things should have been different for them. I think it's really easy to fall into the trap of the daily monotony, but if you want more, you have to do more. And if you aren't happy with the outcome, you have to change the input. And I believe at its core, that's the essence of trying. I first started noticing what I consider to be the roots of the problem during high school. Now, I was in high school. The pervasive ideology, at least surrounding school itself, was that trying and caring were kind of a joke. People would put more effort into copying assignments and cheating than it would have taken to simply do the work and study. If you took your studies seriously and worked hard or cared about the material or learning in general for that matter, people might actually think you're weird because you care and because you put in effort. And this was especially true if you're actually passionate about a subject or a club or something like that. And people, if you were really interested or invested in something, they'd kind of be like, what's this guy's deal? Why does he care so much? It's kind of a little weird, don't you think? But I don't know. That obviously wasn't universally true. I don't want to make broad generalizations, but I did feel like that was kind of the general sentiment. And of course, there was plenty of people who actually did their work and applied themselves and weren't judgmental. But in my experience, that was kind of the minority. And at the same time, the need for social acceptance and the fear of rejection is at an all time high during high school. And most people want nothing more than to be accepted by their peers. They don't want to be an outcast. They want to have friends. They want to do fun stuff. They want to have people they can talk to at school and share laughs and all that kind of stuff. So most people will conform to this mold and they'll try and do what other people expect out of them because that's how they won't be labeled as an outcast or othered, so to speak. And obviously, my experience is anecdotal. It's just my experience. There could be plenty of other people I went to school with that say, "Oh man, what's this guy talking about?" I didn't have that experience at all during school, and that's perfectly fine. This is just kind of how I experienced it during that time, and looking back on it, it still kind of rings true to this day, where it was cooler, so to speak, to act like you didn't care about anything and nothing moved you than it was to actually be passionate and invested in different topics. Additionally, I grew up during the tech revolution, so I saw video games as a hobby become ubiquitous with all different types of people. And I don't know, I just saw a lot of people that I knew or didn't know for that matter just sit inside and play Xbox or PlayStation and just game all day long pretty much. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. Like your hobbies are your hobbies, and if that's what you like, that's perfectly fine. But I just feel like that kind of takes away from real social connection. And I think those two factors, um, the lack of people engaging with their passion and the rise of digital experiences really contributed to the lack of fulfillment we see today. I think younger people are really cautious to engage with their passions, and a lot of those potential experiences became supplanted or overwritten, so to speak, with digital experiences, either social media or video games, which provide instant gratification but no long term fulfillment. And real life experiences will provide that satisfaction that sticks with you, memories that'll make you smile even years later, and connections with others that are intrinsically valuable and can provide meaning and purpose for your life. But to have those experiences and achieve those connections, you have to actually try. When it comes to trying, though, it's important to start small and make it a habit, building up your confidence one step at a time. In my opinion, there are two crucial stages here, the mental and the physical. And I think the mental has to come first. The mental stage of trying is to try and think positively. I find lots of people just find something to be upset about in most situations rather than something to be happy about. Most people constantly complain, make other people feel sorry for them, and have a generally a woe is me perspective. The world is out to get me. And that kind of mindset is not where you want to be. If you think that way and engage with that reality, it becomes real because that's the lens that you're viewing the world through. The same thing is true for thinking positively. If you think positively, you'll begin to see more positive situations and see the good in everything rather than just thinking everything that happens is bad or something like that. That's just really not true. And I don't know, once again, I think it's crucial to start small. So what's one good thing that happened today? What's one thing you can look forward to tomorrow? The answer is never going to be nothing. If it is, you simply aren't trying. Positive thinking will improve your self esteem and empower you, which will prime you for the physical aspect of trying. With a positive mindset, the physical aspect becomes easier because you believe in yourself, meaning you will anticipate success in your endeavors, not failure, which will make you inclined to take the next step. That next step is taking action. I'll start explaining using a common example, or a common problem, I should say, which is work. This may sound a little callous, but if your job sucks, try actually committing yourself to it and seriously trying rather than just going through the motions because you don't like it. It doesn't mean you'll magically love your job, but it'll likely become more filling on some levels. I don't mean to insinuate you don't try at work. But be honest with yourself. Are you giving it your all? If the answer is truly yes, you can ignore this part, but I really doubt that's the case for most people. Try to find a way you can improve the tasks you have to do, make them more enjoyable, more manageable, or more engaging. From there, you can try and learn skills from another department if that's possible and build on your talents so you're therefore building on your resume and you'll be able to entertain opportunities that are more in line with your goals and interests in the future. Engage in meaningful conversations with your coworkers. Talk about things that interest you with them outside of work. Talk about your passions, your hobbies, your interests, whatever the case may be. The next thing you know, you'll actually have something to look forward to because you'll have a connection with another person at work. You won't just be going there for 8 hours a day to do whatever it is that you have to do. You'll actually have people you can talk to and interact with, and you're somewhat invested in their interests and they care to hear what you did this past weekend. And that kind of conversation can go a long way just as far as motivating you to show up on a daily basis. You don't have to do this all at once. I know trying to do all those things that I just described in one day, that's a lot. That can be overwhelming. You just got to take it one step at a time. And if none of those ideas work or if they're not realistic for you, try to provide the best quality of work you can and take pride in the fact that you're actively doing your best no matter what the situation is. This could be any job. If you try as hard as you can, you'll inherently feel proud of yourself because you know you left it all out there at the end of the day and you can go to sleep knowing that you really went hard. It doesn't necessarily mean you liked what you did, but you went hard. And I think that's important. This is just one example of how you can improve your daily life just by trying. Persevering through adverse circumstances like this will seriously help to build your resolve and self confidence over time. It's not to say it's going to be easy. Taking action is hard. It can be overwhelming, anxiety inducing, and those kind of things make it really easy to procrastinate and push the action off to another day. But be honest with yourself. When that day comes, are you going to act or are you going to put it off again? Trying something for the first time isn't going to be easier if you put it off, so why not do it now? Anyone who's mastered a subject or activity or skill, literally anything, was once a beginner just like you. They had to put in their 10,000 hours just like everyone else, and the only difference between you and them in this present moment is that they tried and they stuck with it. Sure, there's obviously going to be some genetic freaks here and there who have a marginally easier path, but that really only applies to things like sports, which is just one small aspect of life. So you can't focus on the outliers. You got to try and focus on yourself and do what you can do. Taking the first step is rarely going to be easy, but trust me, the payoff is absolutely incredible. Even if it doesn't go great, even if it goes bad for that matter, at least you tried. If it does go bad, you take it as a lesson, learn from your experience, and don't give up. The pride that you feel knowing that you actually tried and made an effort will be immense. With any luck, that feeling of pride and achievement will inspire you to try again and keep trying. And before long, you'll begin to notice real progress. Once you get a taste of progress, you'll be insatiable. You realize that it really is possible to improve and one day accomplish your goals. And that continuous journey of honing your skills or increasing your knowledge or whatever it is that you want to do and whatever it is that you're interested in will certainly bring you fulfillment. The key to both aspects of trying, the physical and the mental, is trying. You aren't always going to want to take action. You might not always be able to think positively. But by trying every day to do these things, you'll begin to build a habit. And before long, you'll become a person who constantly takes action and always finds the good in any situation. All of a sudden, your outlook and disposition will be entirely different. And by extension, you'll be a new and transformed person. I don't want to downplay the difficulty here and act like these changes are going to be easy and you can do it overnight. Change is almost always difficult. The importance is staying the course. Now, let's do a little thought experiment here. Imagine yourself 10 years from now having continued trying. We'll call this your dream future. Maybe in your dream future, you've put in your 10,000 hours and now you've mastered your craft, whatever that is. Maybe in your dream future, you truly gave it your all at work. You made it to that new job that you wanted, or you reached the upper echelon of your current job or field, whatever that is, and you've reached the place that you aspire to reach. Maybe in your dream future, you have memories of great experiences with friends and family, of traveling, or just interactions that really bring you joy when you reflect on them for the rest of your life. Hopefully, all of these will be true for you, but it doesn't matter what I imagine, it's your dream future. Imagine how proud you'll feel when you look back on the past decade and you see how much progress you made during that time. You'll remember where you started in disbelief. It'll feel surreal to realize how far you came. You'll laugh at remembering the initial anxiety that almost prevented you from starting this journey. It'll feel so trivial compared to the sense of pride and accomplishment that you built within yourself. Even if what you try doesn't work out and you find out that it wasn't meant for you, you can look back without regret because you'll know you tried. You'll have found your answer. You won't be sitting there like, man, if I would have tried that, maybe I could have done this, maybe I could have done that. You'll know, nope, I tried and it didn't work out, and that's perfectly okay. And who knows, maybe when you try, even if you fail, it'll open up another avenue, it'll spark another journey that could radically change your life, and you could uncover something else that you actually love to do and you're actually great at. It feels good just to imagine that future, doesn't it? Where you've realized your dreams and you've made progress towards them and you're in a much better place than you are today. I'm here to tell you that is absolutely not unattainable. That is within your reach. That is within everyone's reach. That does not just have to be imagination. In a decade, that can be your reality. Now, let me paint the opposite picture, and we'll call this your nightmare future. 10 years have gone by. You never tried, you never took that first step. Your interests and your passions are still there, but you never gave yourself the chance to truly explore it and apply yourself. Now it really feels overwhelming, and you really have a lot of anxiety about getting started because of the realization of the time you wasted. And now you're 10 years older, so it's even harder to take that first step. Additionally, you likely regret that you never tried, and you may even subtly resent that you held yourself back. This sounds really awful, and I don't want anybody to feel that way. Nobody should have to live within their nightmare future. If this is you right now, that is okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't let another 10 years go by. Take the first step. You can do it. You have the power to change your life just by trying. There is one condition, though. You can't fake it, you can't half ass it, and you can't cheat. Temporarily, maybe you think you can, but you can't. Even if no one else will know, you will. You'll know if you didn't give it your all. You'll know if you took unethical shortcuts. You'll know if you cheated. This won't make your achievements any less real, but it'll undermine the pride you feel in achieving them because you'll know you didn't go about it the right way. To provide an example of trying from my own life and the payoff that came with it, I recently completed grad school. I was pretty nervous to apply because I didn't know if my professors would write me good letters of recommendation, I didn't know if my grades were sufficient. Basically, I had a lot of self-doubt concerning whether or not I was really qualified and deserving to continue my education and go back to school and all those types of things. And I had a little fear of rejection, that I would apply and I would get turned down, and then it'd be like, damn, I really kind of wanted to do that and it didn't work out for me, and I really wasn't good enough. But I ended up kind of embracing that fear and I went for it. I ended up getting accepted, and now 2 years later, I've completed the program and graduated. The amount of skills and knowledge that I gained were immense, and these skills and the knowledge will allow me to pursue opportunities that never would have been available to me in the past. And I'm very proud of myself for following through and overcoming that self doubt and anxiety. Of course, I don't want to downplay it. It was a long and difficult journey. There was really hard courses, intense and involved projects, and overlapping deadlines between courses. But the payoff at the end was absolutely worth overcoming that anxiety and taking that first step, and then staying the course when I got accepted. I also have plenty of experiences that went the other way, where I never took the first step. I never found out if certain things were right for me, and I didn't apply myself like I could have. I'm now working to right those wrongs and correct those mistakes and make sure that in 10 years, in my dream future, I can look back with pride. Another example is this video right here. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this. This is my first time making content at all. I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying. I hope people will watch, and I hope my message will resonate with them, and I think it will. But even if no one watches, or if people do watch and they don't get what I'm trying to say, or my message doesn't land, that's perfectly fine too, because I tried, and I'm going to keep trying, and I can live with that. I can't live with the nagging thought of what if. And in fact, I actually refuse to live with that thought, and I hope you will too. I tried not to use too many specific examples in this video because I want you to try at what matters to you, what's important to you, not examples that I may provide, because there is no one size fits all example, and it's really not about me anyway. I don't have all the answers. I can't tell you how to realize your goals or what steps to take. That's for you to figure out. The one thing that I can say for sure, though, is that the first and most important step is to try. I know it's scary. I know it's hard. I know it's nerve wracking and a million other things. And you can make excuses all day long. But deep down, you know you would rather try now than live with regret forever. Trying is a temporary pain versus the lifetime agony of regret. The choice is obvious. By trying, you're showing yourself that you care about yourself. You're proving your worth to yourself. I think this initiates a positive feedback loop. Trying shows you value yourself and your life. You feel inspired by your efforts. You continue to try, and the cycle repeats. I'll end with another quote. This one's from J. Cole, a song that I found to be somewhat profound. Life is all about the evolution. You can dream, but don't neglect the execution. No matter where you are in life, I hope you'll take up the challenge and try. Pay attention to how your life changes. Start small by trying to think positive before taking action. At first, it might not be obvious, but give it a year. Keep trying for 1 year, and you'll never look back. No matter the result, I promise you'll be glad you did. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. It's been my pleasure to share my thoughts with you, everyone that watched, and I hope you'll go forward with my advice.